seeing that? It's like made Kyle Whittingham the winningest coach in Utah football history.
Really just humbled, to be able to be on this team and, accomplish, such a great accomplishment. And, Coach Witt, I think, he's the best coach in Utah football history. And he deserves everything, that comes his way. And, I mean, I really just can't say enough about these guys. Like, Cubby's sitting next to me, but, everybody on the team, like, everybody just believes in one another and loves one another. And, I mean, I just can't say enough about, everybody in this win today.
Yeah, same. It's really cool to be a part of it because there are so many players that have come and gone and contributed to that. But, you interview Coach Witt about that, and the first thing that he'll do is he'll reflect all of the credit, He'll talk about his staff and the players that have gone through, but what he has done is unbelievable. And I don't think people realize how much a part of the program we owe to, or the identity of the program we owe to him. So, yeah, as they say, Coach Cunningham's pretty good.
Brandon, what were you seeing on the punt return?
Well, I've told Coach Witt before that if a team's trying to run out the clock at the end of a half and we have some timeouts, call them so that we can get a shot, whatever it is. And so we had 11 seconds left, and a couple guys on the sideline came up to me and they said, "You're not down." And so I went back there, looked at the north end zone, and I just went like this. I was like, what are we going to do? So what's really cool is you go look at that film, and Devin will attest to this. It looks exactly like practice. I've got about 6 guys finishing through the goal line with me at full speed. I wouldn't have had that if it weren't for Mekhi Bernard's block, Solomon Enos' block. Kamo'i Olatu had 2 blocks. Connor O'Toole turns around and goes for the punter instead of coming backwards. So it's just like practice. It's not me. It's that unit. That unit is special, and it's because we believe in what we can do. So,
how much of that 2019 game kind of led into just kind of letting all that emotion out against them today?
It was definitely on our minds, but this is a completely different team than the 2019 team. So, obviously, it still hurts. And we still have that nasty taste in our mouths. But we're completely confident in this game and going into this game, and we understand that it was in the past. So.
Devin, to hold this team to 63 yards rushing, kind of really just took them out of their entire game plan. Was that kind of the plan going in, is to stop the run?
Yeah, for sure. We're both teams who pride ourselves on running the ball, being physical at the line of scrimmage. And so it was a battle in the trenches. We emphasized that all week. And, we kind of preached whoever wins the trenches is most likely going to win the game.
Brandon, it seemed like for the offense especially, it seemed like you guys didn't feel like you were ever going to back down, right? I mean, what was kind of the mentality going into that just allowed you to kind of keep doing that?
Well, that's been our mentality for, I think, about 6 weeks now, where it's Coach Ludwig's philosophy, right? It's pretty old school, but if you've got a team that buys into it, it works. We run the ball. Even if we're going to run the ball, we're going to run the ball until you come in to stop us, then we're going to be a great play-action pass team. And so I think it's just getting the guys to buy into what we're doing. And, the last 6 weeks, we've really bought into it. And just cool to see it come to fruition.
What did you think of Andy's play calling? It seemed like he was pushing all the right buttons, and he had Oregon on his heels all night.
I thought it was great. I thought that he did a great job with the situational work, especially third downs. Our third down conversion rate the second half of the season compared to the first half is, I think, one of the keys to success that we've had. And I think that's attributed to Coach Ludwig's good play calling on third down. And, I'm glad that, I know we ran the ball a lot more in the second half, but I'm glad that we didn't back down and we didn't just try and run the clock out, play conservative. We still were pushing forward and trying to win the game.
What's it like to be able to see somebody like Tavion do what he's done in really such a short amount of time, knowing that he wasn't playing early on much?
Well, I talked to Tavion after the second game because he was pretty down, and I basically said, remember how you feel right now because you're going to be on top once again, and you're going to be on bottom once again, and it's just understanding and trusting who you are. Because we knew from fall camp, when we saw it, we would go home and I'd tell my parents that Tavion's going to be special. And so I think all of us helped him know that we still trusted him after those first couple games, or those first 3 games, right, with some fumbles and things, because we saw who he was day in and day out. So it's really cool to see. He's like a huge little kid, too. He's like,
Yeah, he's
this team again in a couple of weeks. What kind of statement do you think you made tonight?
I think that we probably angered them. I don't know anything else. I think that if we see them in a couple weeks, we know that we're going to be seeing a different team on a different, even, playing field without the crowd, but also just a team that wants vengeance. And so we're going to be prepared when that time comes.
Piggybacking off what Dana said, obviously everybody's expecting you guys to see them in the next couple weeks. So how important was it to you guys? You guys really didn't have to open up a whole bag of tricks going into that game.
Yeah, defensively, our biggest thing, was just owning the line of scrimmage. We weren't gonna try to switch up our scheme or do anything special. We're just gonna play our ball, play Utah football to the best of our abilities. And I'd say we accomplished that. And whenever we do see them, we got to do the same thing.
Devin, what's it like playing behind Junior right now and the development he's had? He had a huge game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that just keeps getting better every day, and it starts at practice. His passion for the game is unmatched. He loves the game, and he loves being out there with everybody. And it's just, a pleasure to see him continue to progress and keep balling and doing his thing, I mean, I'm just really glad to see him just, see all his hard work come to fruition.
And to really fast answer back to your question, we go into that second game, and it's going to be it's nice that we didn't have to show a lot of tricks and stuff, but it's going to be the exact same kind of, we're going to run the ball until you stop us. Then we're going to be a great play action pass team. So that's what's cool about the identity is it doesn't change week in, week out. So
Britton, looking at just the special teams play tonight, you guys had some struggles on special teams in earlier games. Do you feel like you kind of turned a corner as a special teams unit with your return for a touchdown and blocking the one field goal and just kind of getting some stops in that phase of the game?
yeah, I think so. I think special teams is all about belief. The reason why I think we're the #1 ranked punt return unit in the country, and it's because we believe and we've seen what we can do. It really is the unit. It's not the returner. It's the unit. Same thing back with Kalen Clay, right? 2014. It's that unit. And I remember that was the first thing that I really understood when I got here with special teams was everyone talked about Kalen Clay the year before, but it was the unit that they would talk. They'd be like, people fear us. People are scared of us. And I thought that was really cool that special teams was literally like its own facet of the game. And so I think that it comes with some ownership, and we've done that. We've owned up to our mistakes, and it's like another facet of the game. Offense, defense, special teams really is like another team.
All right, thanks, Dan. Britt. Now, Cameron, Davion, show your
Yeah, just talk about the experience beating Oregon tonight.
Great team win. Guys did an unreal job up front. They blocked their rear ends off. It was fun to be a part of.
What was it like to be able to just see that offensive line? I mean, I know you've had some struggles over the years, but they've really dialed in. But what was it like to go against a physical Oregon team and just do that?
We talked about being physical all week, and we really wanted to set the tone up front, and I think they did that out there, and that's why we were so successful.
Davion, you break a school record today with 17 rushing touchdowns in the season. I mean, talk about that. Did you ever think that would be a reality early on in the season?
No, sir. I just try to go in the game just to play for my brothers. And a big special part of me, my mom was here today, so I feel like she played a big role in this too for me and the team. We just got to keep working though. The job ain't done yet.
And what made the biggest difference? You're facing a defense that had really good, rushing. They're good at stopping the rush, and you go off and make a lot happen. What made the difference tonight?
I say offensive linemen, they was doing their job today. They made it easy for me to see the holes and just read, and I was just trusting my instincts and just going.
Cam, Brent got going tonight in a big way. Was that a product of Oregon focusing on the run game, opening up space in the secondary?
Yeah, we came out and started running the ball pretty hard, and I think they started to load up the box, so then we had to switch it up and start running the play action, and it worked to a T.
And what does it say about this offense? They came in trying to stop the run. You only had to throw the ball 18 times, and you were still as effective as that.
It says a lot about those guys up front and how they block, especially if you look in the tight end room. They do an unreal job, and even the receivers, it speaks volumes to what they're doing that we're so effective running the ball, and that's why we're so good with it.
How awesome was it to be a part
That's a pretty surreal moment, especially for him. Just the amount of football games that he's played and won is unreal. I have so much respect for him and everything he does. I love Coach Witt, and I'm glad to be a part of that 143 or 142.
For you, Cam, starting against the number 3 team in the country or driving Coach Witt's truck?
You want me to be honest? That truck, man, that truck is scary. I don't want to get no scratches on it. Or anything.
Keep it clean.
Yeah, I got a little nervous. But it was fun, though.
You like how that thing came out?
Oh, that was awesome. They did a great job with it. Yeah.
Maybe on this the largest crowd in Utah football history. What was it like to play in front of them?
It was beautiful. I thank the fans for coming out there. I think everybody who's supporting us came out there tonight. We really do appreciate y'all, and we ain't done yet. We got to keep going. You know.
Oh.
What do you guys think of the must rush the field after the game?
That was fun. A little hectic, but it was good. I loved it.
You connected with Brant Keithley a lot tonight. What made that possible?
Just the play calls. He's in the right spot where he's supposed to be, and even if he wasn't, he'll make a good catch and extend the play. So that's what me and him work on all the time, and that's why we're so successful tonight.
Was there an emphasis in practice to make him have a greater impact? Whittingham talked about that last week a little bit.
Yeah, there was definitely more plays set for him, and that ended up having him get the ball in those situations more so.
Appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Okay, extremely proud of our guys, obviously, from start to finish. Excellent execution, physicality. They just weren't going to be denied tonight. And started with a great week of practice. They had the right mindset, absolutely. And it was great to see them go out and perform the way they did. And it was just a great game for us. Really critical at the end of the first half. Those 2 touchdowns we scored late in the end of the first half really gave us a ton of momentum going in at halftime, and really was a tough situation for them coming out being down 28 zip. So that was probably the biggest key to the game, is being able to get that touchdown offensively late, and then of course Covey's punt return. So that was really the biggest portion of the game, and the thing that really gave us a ton of momentum. So questions?
Knowing what Covey can do on a punt return, are you surprised that they actually kicked to him in that spot?
Well, the alternative, kick out of bounds, I guess, but yeah, he's a dangerous guy, and I know I'd think twice about kicking to him, but that was their strategy. We had a block on too. It wasn't like we had a return set up. We had a full-on block, and he did most all that on his own. We got some key blocks along the way. Don't get me wrong, but it was not set up as a return. It was set up as a block.
Kyle, you've deflected a lot to the players and coaches that have been here, but what does it mean to you personally now that you've broken that record?
Well, I'll keep deflecting because that's what I'm good at. But I just feel blessed, like I said the last time we talked about it, and to be able to somebody's phone's buzzing. There we go. To just that's a lot of years, a lot of hard work, and a lot goes into that. But like I said, as a football coach, it's different than some other sports. Some other sports you can pretty much do it all as the head coach, but in football you cannot. It's impossible. You got to surround yourself with great people, and fortunately we've been able to do that through the last 17 years. Had some outstanding assistant coaches come through here. The staff we got now is terrific, and obviously it starts with great players and being able to have recruited and developed so many of those guys that have come through here that have contributed to this. So I don't want to. What's that?
You've got a lot of great running backs through this program. What does it say about Tavion Thomas that he is now the single-season touchdown leader?
Oh, I didn't know that, but it says that he's got a nose for the end zone. There's no doubt about that. And he's a big physical back, and that's where he really becomes a weapon is down in the red zone, and he gets close to that goal line. He's very seldom going to be denied.
They came in obviously trying to stop the run. You still were able to run it 50 times for over 200 yards against a pretty physical front seven there.
Right.
How impressed were you by your offensive front?
Yeah, that's a talented group they have over there, and it's a good football team. But we did a nice job running the football. Offensive line performed outstanding. No turnovers again for I don't know how many weeks in a row that is, but that's been a huge part of our success the last 6-7 weeks is taking care of the football. And defense, we can't ignore what the defense did. Defense did a phenomenal job. I think they only got 60 or 70 yards rushing. How many did they get rushing? 63 yards, I see here. So they were coming in here with 231 or thereabouts per week, and that was the primary objective of this game is to stop the run. And we felt if we did that, we had a good chance to have a good outcome, and we were able to do that.
Was this the best complete game you guys have played this season?
I would say probably so. Yeah, probably. The Stanford game was pretty complete, but this is right up there with that. So yeah, we all three phases. You notice we got 2 punts off without getting them blocked. That was nice. So I was really proud of that. But yeah, I'd say that between those 2 games, those were probably the 2 most complete games we played.
Good chance you're going to see these guys again in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Brett says he expects an angry team if that happens.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they will be, and it should be a battle if that happens. I guess I don't know exactly what has to happen, but I know Oregon State's in the conversation at least right now. So we'll see what happens. Boy, we're not concerned with that. We're going to get ready for Colorado, and try to send our seniors out the right way. They've had a great career here at Rice-Eccles Stadium, and that's the objective for this next week.
Going back to the special teams, you'd had some struggles collectively in that phase
Right.
in previous games. Tonight, not only did you not make mistakes, but you had a blocked field goal and Covey's punt return.
Right.
Do you feel like you've turned a corner in that phase as a team?
I don't know if we feel like we turned a corner, but we certainly had some good things happen in this game, and we've had some big setbacks throughout the course of the season. We had the kickoff coverage issues early in the year, and then the ongoing punt protection. But yeah, I think that we had a complete game with our special teams, I don't know if we've ever arrived or where you want to be, because we got to continue to work hard. But it was great to see them perform like they did tonight.
Coach, they have one of the best defensive players in the country. On the other side, maybe a top overall draft pick.
Yep.
And by his standards, it was a pretty quiet night.
It
Was that
was.
something you guys schemed up, or was that just your guys executing?
I think both. We had some scheme to nudge him and chip him, with tight ends and running backs, but our tackles did an outstanding job. And Bam Olaseni is really coming into his own. He is really becoming a dominant force at that left tackle position. And Braden Daniels, he played guard first 2.5 years he's here, and now all of a sudden he's playing out at tackle and playing at a very high level. So very proud of the tackles, how they perform. But yeah, I thought Andy and Coach Harding did a great job of having a plan in place to try to neutralize him, as best we could.
What did you think of the way that Cam played? You didn't ask him to do a ton. He didn't have to do a ton. Just what did you think?
Oh, he did a great job running the offense. His numbers weren't, gaudy, but he did a great job of finding the open receivers. I don't know what was he, 10 of 18 or something around there. So around 60%, and did what he needed to do. I mean, he did exactly what we needed him to do, and he's so poised and such a great. He's got that field general mentality that you love in a quarterback.
You did really well on third downs, maybe probably your best of the season. I mean, how did that all transpire, and what do you think led to that?
Well, execution, number one. Being in manageable third downs, number two, which we seem to be in a lot of manageables and not extreme yardage. And then the combination of those two things really is what makes you successful on third down. We're also successful in the red zone, again, which is another trend that has been trending in the right direction.
How many guys on this team would you let borrow that truck that Cam drove in the
One, Cam, yeah, one, yeah. Pretty cool commercial, huh? Or whatever it was, yeah. Truck cost me a fortune to restore. Yeah. Worth every penny, though. Yeah.
Coach, I know you're not a big fashion guy, but the uniforms tonight, really special, great story behind them, and obviously that becomes part of the storyline of college football and
Right.
teams recruiting, things like that. A win like this in those uniforms with one of the 3 surviving sailors of the USS Salt Lake City in attendance tonight feels pretty special.
Awesome. It was awesome, and players loved them. They were excited to wear them, and what can you say? Under Armour did a great job designing those, and the helmets were outstanding, and that definitely, to college-age young man, you get a uniform that they really are excited about. That gives you a little lift, and I think that was part of the juice that we had out there tonight.
Coach, based off of how far you've come, the things you've endured, how the season started, what does it mean now to be at the top of the South and be playing in a Pac-12 championship?
Oh, it's great, and so proud of our guys, and we were sitting there at 1-2 after the first 3 conference games or non-conference games, and kind of wondering who we were, and although we had just figured out that Cam provided a spark, because even though we lost that third game, he gave us an instant energy, and spark when he came in, and between what Cam has done and how he's progressed, and the offensive line play, that's really been the biggest keys to getting this thing turned around.
You have the Sewell brothers playing against each other tonight.
Yep.
What did you think of each of their performances?
They're both tremendous players. I mean, Noah is outstanding, and Nephi, I think Nephi may be the most underrated player in the conference. He's all he does is make play after play after play, and doesn't get a whole lot of notoriety or recognition. He just quietly goes about his business and makes very few mistakes. Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Sucking on my cough drops.